So, other than that, I think we are ready to go. So let's get this started. Continue. We are on day 154 of Rude Awakening. I think we had just finished watching all of the video clips that we had recorded that day, so I think we're ready to move on to the next day. Oh, I don't think I've seen that before. Some of these images do not look similar like that right there. I don't remember seeing that. Channel 1's opinion and view matters. Let's see where it leaves us off. Whoa! We're in a hospital. I'm trying to remember. Oh, we got attacked by a bear, I think, at the very end of the last stream. Is that right, Alex? Like, it looked like we had finished the chapter practically, but then something lunged at us, and I think we ended it right there. And the Mr. Snugglehugs was a disaster toy that blew up, and the sequel to is Mrs. Snugglehugs, and it is an apocalypse. Oh, it actually changed from Mr. to the Mrs. Like Mrs. Pac-Man, or Miss Pac-Man was way more popular than Mr. Pac-Man. Yes, it's basically a toy bear that talks to you, yeah. I don't remember what was before the bear, or before the chapter, Alex. No, you have to fill me in. At least I try to recap everything that I remembered. Okay, so day 154. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family by your side, a reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings. So you blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. Let's see. Oh, I vaguely remember a thunderstorm, and it was like taking out some of the electrical equipment. We had a hard time controlling anything. But I forgot about getting struck. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, so it wasn't a bear that got us. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam, they're always are with you as always. Their expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. Yeah, we were having some relationship problems here and there with Sam. Chris chimes in from beside them. See, Alex is fine. We missed the game for nothing. Dude, screw Chris. That's right, I did think we died. I was like, I guess that's a good stopping point. You and Chris still aren't on great terms, and it's hard to miss the tone of disdain in their voice. Hey, Arbo, what's up, dude? How's it going? Happy Saturday. What'd you up to this weekend? Let's see. Let's try to keep the peace. You remind yourself this isn't about Chris and squeeze Sam's hand, smiling at them. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've got enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a final smile at them, you turn to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. As soon as you turn to look at him, you see that Charlie's tense up, his concern clear on his face. So, you're definitely good, right? He finally asks, quickly looking away. Let's see. Let's just say, of course I am, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother, staring listlessly out the window. Despite all of your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mum? Your mother starts, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling. Surprisingly well. Whoa, what was that? Like the camera just went crazy for a second. I don't know what that was. All right, well, we'll say surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system. Pardon the pun, she smiles. Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days rest at home, you should feel right as rain. Oh, now I remember, Alex. I remember thinking that I had, shocked myself to death touching the equipment because it just seemed to, time perfectly as I was, editing the stuff, you know? And I was like, oh, did I die? Whoops. Okay, she turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room in care, the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive. has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. Oh, that's the guy that runs the television channel. He left those flowers and said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you on Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. I mean, who knows if we're even better by Monday, right? Oh, that was just a loop of the footage? Okay. Day 180. This is like 30 days later. A burden to bear? Hey, current wealth, things are looking up. That's better than, what was it, broke ass poor and what is money? I think that's what they called it before. So how you been, Arbo? What are you up to this weekend? You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks to be their second pack of biscuits. They shoot you a strained smile as you take a seat next to them. Is this like bills related because of all the, hospital stay maybe? I'm not sure. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. Oh no. Money is very stressful. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. Our mom's living in the pantry? Oh no. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly, the bills are all you can see. And 99, how's it going? You're playing your game about a stressful job while you're working in your stressful job, right? It's almost like Job Simulator, but Job Simulator is not stressful. You're basically doing the job of two people because apparently they're the only customer lead scheduled for the busiest day of the week. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, 99. Hopefully there's no drama and it goes by smoothly for you. And Alex, so that sort of happened, and then we had a fever dream that explains the bears, the misspells, the names. Oh, wait, so that was all a dream. I didn't realize that, Alex. Okay. Fortunately, with the money that's been coming in and what we've been able to save, we've got more than enough to keep going. With Susie home to help out, the nurse would only need to be part-time anyway. Sam smiles at you. I know things have been difficult, and with the daily care won't be cheap, but she's your mother. We have to really, don't we? Oh, that sounds more familiar now, Alex, now that you're mentioning it. I was pretty tired when we were wrapping up that stream. It said like it was day ? Right? Like we didn't know what day it was. That kind of alludes to the fact that it wasn't really any day because it was a dream. Okay. Let's go with that. You gratefully smile back. Of course you'll pay for the care your mother needs. There goes more money. Oh no, our current wealth just changed to can't afford coffee. I mean, that's important. At least we got that. The sword of Damocles sheathed, at least for the moment. You grab the papers and stuff them into a drawer. It's such a relief to not worry about it anymore. Or so you told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, how long will the money last? Gosh, this is like a financial simulator too. And it's really hot, $2.99. That sucks that you're outdoors all day. Day 201? A letter home. Oh, what time is it for you, 99? And Relentless. Speaking of not being sure what is and isn't a dream, there's a South Korean horror movie called The Wailing. I love that movie. I did see that one. You're constantly unsure what's true and what's a dream. I thought they did a great job of making you believe one thing and having a great twist throughout the story. It definitely shocked me. 3:30 and you're just getting to lunch? That sucks. How much longer do you have to work, 99? Luckily, if you take a late lunch, hopefully you're closer to the end of your shift. Sam's out without work tonight, and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, have a couple of drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. Let's see. I mean, for me personally, I would go with a horror movie. Sam's not here, but you can still watch a horror without them. The atmosphere and story are better than you were expecting, making you jump more than once. After a particularly shocking emergence of the lolling lumberer, you accidentally kick the coffee table, revealing a small object hidden behind one of the legs. Oh. As you bend down to reach for it, you recall the note Sam left on the fridge. Hey, sweetheart. Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? Man, nailed it. Found it. Yes, yes, they did a great job with that, Relentless. I really liked it. And it's one of those movies that when you finish watching it, you kind of want to watch it again just to see the breadcrumbs that they gave you leading to that conclusion, which are some of my favorite kind of movies. Oh, what is that? As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gifts actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affection, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it. You're not sure Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Urkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid, Susie. That's of course what he's gonna do. Hopefully it's just a souvenir, and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up. It's nice that she thought of him. Yeah, did he pick up smoking or something? What's going on here? Yeah, right? We're natural. We just accidentally find things. 2:32. Wow, a lot of time has passed. Yeah, they do a great job of misleading you without it feeling cheap, Relentless. Sometimes movies, they try to trick you, but it just feels like you just didn't give us enough information. Like, that just felt cheap, but not in that movie. The silence. Oh, no. 99. Absolutely, you should think about doing that. I mean, it's probably not going to get better, honestly. You definitely want to think about you got to take care of you first. If you're in a bad situation, start looking while you still have a job, of course. Let's see, so I don't have to pick up the phone. Nobody's calling. Oh, look at that get well soon. That's cute. Yeah, and now I have to remember all the mechanics. I don't know what this is. A bold new shampoo. Oh, check power. Okay, that's right. Power first. Usually we power on all these bottom ones.
Jenny.
Sports board. And Flard Master. I want to do something I don't think I've seen before. Oh no! The VHS player blew up with all the electricity.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds, everybody.
I thought we were all part of a team these days.
Well, this is going to be terrible. I've forgotten so much.
Stop being so high and mighty and do your job.
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
Spacebar's mute.
Good evening.
There we
I'm
go.
Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas.
I'm going to go with that face.
Clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Zoltan
Usually I get distracted by
has released a
something,
reassuringly
and I
brave
miss so many
statement
different
in response
mechanics.
to the World Council's controversial announcement.
I think I'm going to mute that.
This
It's more distracting
international
me than
declaration
anything.
is nothing short of outrageous. We are a
Oh, it's moving.
democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community.
I think you just have to get it lined up before it's finished moving.
For the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have
Oh,
our
it's
own,
not working. There we go.
we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This
Sometimes I press in my mouse wheel and it doesn't seem to
entirely
register.
self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side.
I forgot how much I can't hear what she's saying. Oh no, sanctions!
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks punishing success and rewarding
Oh, I did a little
laziness.
too early.
They're taking this country down the bloody swine.
They're very specific about where you actually hit the censor
My
button.
wife Iris, she agrees.
If you cut off like one extra word, you miss it.
A Flard day's night. Following the release of the Floodmaster 5000,
Yeah, sanctions a little too
production
close
of
to home,
Floods
huh,
are at an
Alex?
all-time
Too relevant
high,
right now.
requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard,
Let's go Happy.
the team at Remington Cyst certainly have their hands
See what
full
Happy
keeping
looks
up
like.
with demand.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Floods? We asked Patrick to find out. Patrick?
Do you have an opinion of Flards at all?
Oh my god, I love Flards. Doesn't everyone? Do you even remember when we didn't have Flards and we had to rely on verbs? Oh, I'd never go back.
The delicate sound
100%
of frightening
relentless.
staff working with us this morning who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who
go
stood
pissed off.
motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Or to apologise to this
I feel like I
person
only
for
absorbed
making
like
Robbie's morning bacon
20% of the
surprise.
story during this
But how do
section.
we feel about these
I'm so glad you can like
radical
review it
extremists
afterwards.
and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
Are those the guys in black with the orange fist thing?
That's right.
Can I be honest?
Of course. This is journalism.
They scare me a bit.
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wall
wasn't very much
and
info.
Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape
Svorsborg-Hawkinsford.
to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from
go
optimistically
Happy.
engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my god! How did you know? It's a brilliant idea.
Does it always go to
I
her
hope
for the
everyone
happy
gets behind
reactions?
them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course. I can't actually go diving because I'm scared of salt.
Wait,
I'm not a
didn't that
number.
guy die?
Applications finally opened today for the new advanced
I guess he
scheme
survived, but it looked like he got
membership
killed by a
card,
bear
scheme
earlier.
by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership
Let's
card
try
is
enother
highly volatile,
number 4.
but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, finally, pubs and bars.
Oh, that was part of the
And
dream
course,
chapter.
there's
That's
no
right,
choice,
Alex.
Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
I don't really join things as a rule. As Mother always said, membership is mostly for unmentionables, Malcolm.
What?
And finally tonight, back of the net.
I love her
Popular
reaction.
Sports personality Johnny Hounsleeves and his fiancée Tiffany Lamour was
Oh,
spotted
no,
out
not
today
this
doing
guy.
a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show,
go Happy.
My Teenage Secretions,
No,
has sold
let's go
better
Upset.
than expected.
Number
as by
3.
the looks of things, the whole affair's about to become more expensive than Little C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of
I
wealth?
don't know who that is.
Disgusting.
Wise words there.
Later
Oh, we're done with the
tonight, in a bit of a
pictures.
switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting
All right,
with
gotta
a
switch to
familiar
2
team of
in
thespians set to
7
take the
seconds.
nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National
Nightly
Nightly
News.
Oh, crap, this is moving again. Yeah, Jeremy is probably my favorite, but I also love it when that advanced guy, the president or whatever, CEO, when he starts cursing. His curses are like some of the best. Speaking of which, I did remember to change the stream settings to
First
be
tonight,
adults
thankfully,
only.
some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive
switch
and
back.
potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop
Seriously.
the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented
Look at that
situation.
hair.
For advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day,
There's
Prime
the
Minister.
cursor.
Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son.
Got to get ready on
Neither
that
do the
space
people
bar.
of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing
Okay.
most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health care facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah.
Sometimes
We
it's
don't
really
things
tough to
like
tell when they're
socially
going to start
divisive
talking.
surnames here.
His hair's amazing.
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk, your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, voting, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Fureland
Racist?
where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to look our grandparents clean, yeah, whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man.
And he plays with his
He's
hair
like man
too.
with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always win.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis.
Yeah, 99,
who
that's
think he
my
have tiny
thing.
penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. It can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helga, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her thing. I mean...
Killing a butterfly?
Sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jan Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. I wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
Definitely seems like he's a little
In
insecure,
Svenland,
huh?
We don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power outages.
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course.
Possible.
Thank you. Possible shortages.
We call
and
them rolling
power outages.
brownouts in California.
Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Björk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced currency with a system of
Svenland.
forwards back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Vodovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. When really he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here.
I can't believe we had any swearing with this guy yet.
Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Got it.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Nice.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend.
Ooh,
You fancy
barely
a
got
quick
that in
night?
time.
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on
So
the news.
he almost got in trouble for saying they're going to have electrical problems. When it's really just possible electric problems, right? We can watch some of this commercial right now.
Ingredients that penetrate.
Uh-oh.
New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Wait, what?
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
So something about censoring, but it's going to be a blue waveform instead of a red waveform. Is that right?
Royalty.
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Meghan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Oh.
Thanks for having me on your
The hell was that?
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself.
Oh gosh, which camera do I need?
Going in 5, 4,
Not swearing, but yeah, what they don't want you to know.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan.
I'm not sure if I can just like
Of being joined by
not show
hip-hop
it
royalty.
because I'm
It's been
scared
called the
that would be a
son of the
problem of like me
streets
just
and
losing the game.
The
I don't know if it's
father of
optional or not.
truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets,
The
I used
news.
to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to,
If its name is
you know, the
Jesus.
past, I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand you.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she
I
let
don't
me
want to
sleep on
talk
the
about it,
pile
but
of
let me
crime
talk about it
fiction
a whole
until I
bunch.
taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically, right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics.
Okay, so you
Was
can't
your
choose
style
to do it or
informed
not.
by your
It's not a
father's
win or
art?
lose kind of thing.
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been
Who are
quite
these?
outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so...
There was a lot to censor. I don't know how I did
Well,
that.
You know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
redistributing it? Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological?
Exactly what they're saying.
Or maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have
looks
given
like
me
they're
a very
about to
easy
start over
segue
here.
out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's tears.
Oh no, I'm gonna do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh no.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship
gonna be terrible.
system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus.
First,
Get ready with that
you're gonna
censorship.
pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places.
Oh yeah, this is the.
Only one could be the greatest, so you can feel elation for your participation.
You want to change on the beat.
Leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julie Ellis require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, there's no beats. There we go.
When you find you're one of us, get every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me, but I won't waste a lifetime being.
It seems like anytime they say advance, oh crap, wasn't paying attention to that. That's when you're supposed to block it off.
Fucking incentive, although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same.
It's so funny how it turns into a rhythm game.
The way, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemmer's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snuff ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones.
Comes. Oh, I can't like keep with the beat and censor at the same time.
The ones of aspiration, who had to flee a nation, the ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of.
I don't know why, but it's hard to keep a beat when you're using your thumb for one thing, and then your index fingers is how I'm changing the cameras on the beat.
You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise serve the press of the ways. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemmer's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let him feel some.
Luckily, there's no like cameras that are bad. I don't think I can pretty much switch between any camera at any time.
Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemmer's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Case that.
I know it would be so hard to watch this, wouldn't it? Oops, I missed that. I cannot look at chat during the sequence. Why was that last part all censored? There was like no words. Were they wearing something? I might have missed that.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I might not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference.
Uh-oh.
You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar
That's a
faces
tough
about
choice
their
to make.
upcoming
Do you
dramatic
censor things to
outing.
help your
Don't go away.
family? Because that's going to be your paycheck.
That's the ads.
Oh.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous!
Oh, that was close. I almost missed that.
I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
Okay, so we need to eject that one. And let's go with...
Unbelievable!
Crazy
I
Neil.
don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Yeah, let's screw this advanced group. Oh. Okay, we're still in the commercial.
Games for your favorite sports moments in the combat. Compete in the trivia round.
Dad, in non-Euclidean geometry, which type of surface has constant negative Gaussian curvature?
Oh, I bet that's true. It's like, what are you actually censoring then, right, Frost?
Catch the egg. Name that fish. Keep the bucket. Wait, is that? Yes, it's the
Boys noise.
Here we go.
Oh, look what's going on over here.
Just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
It's always so interesting to go back and watch that.
Mr. Harris.
Okay, see, that's why I wasn't sure about it. It seems like they give you new mechanics and you got to, like, follow them, but in that one, it's actually a choice.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in
Jeez,
10
lady.
seconds, opening on camera 1.
Sorry. Cheers.
What a terrifying commercial. They had to make all these commercials the same length, I think.
Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by national treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Ray.
Oh, good, it's not the
and
algebra
National
guy, is it?
Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to
Oh, it
have
is
you
algebra.
all.
Dang it.
Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on
That
everyone's
was awkward.
lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work,
What in God's name are you doing here?
I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Wait, what'd I miss? Oh, I think I was on the camera too long.
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Brilliant.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my
Oh, the
graduation.
acting here is amazing.
I'm sorry, son. But you're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Oh my gosh.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's
Your dad
it
is
like
Gandalf?
co-starring with Tommy Harris.
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired character.
All she does
in
is
every
change her
god
hats.
awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap
She keeps the
opera,
same
or,
shirt.
God forbid, a pantomime. But you know,
That's amazing.
This show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller. my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
So I show him picking his
Give
butt.
us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show.
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yep. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of
It is
Tommy's
nice
time
from
in the
time to time when you don't
underground
have a whole lot
sports
of
scene.
censorship to do. Yeah, I'm glad I captured that butt shot. That was great.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's
I
support,
wonder,
we'd have had to...
I bet there's probably on YouTube somebody that actually
frankly would've
does
been a
editing for a living that has like played this game and kind of ranks it how well it did.
Goodness, and you do this every night.
That's an impressive CG dragon for their budget.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
There's where all the taxpayer dollars are going.
Unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight.
Oh, that
Join
was
us
weird.
tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And
Oop,
from all of us,
commercial
here,
time.
have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Bye.
Oh,
The hell was that? Is he really clammy or something? Oh, that was that one. That one wasn't too bad, especially after that dream sequence with all the attacking bears. That wasn't nearly as crazy, thank goodness. Oh, a C. Well, I think we got like an E on the last one, so we did better than that time at the very least. I wonder what I missed so bad here. There was one sequence where I think I didn't change like every 10 seconds or something, but it was wasn't so quick, I suppose. Let's see. Nice, thank you, Relentless. It's good to get one classic quote from every game we play. I love that. Crazy Neil, his are always some of the best commercials. Although I think the first commercial with that creepy bear was probably my favorite so far. I think it was terrifying. Oh, we received full wages. Now we can not worrying every day. That's a good thing. I wonder if that's because we did some censorship that I probably shouldn't have. Might have gotten a little bit more money. Look, everything went up. That's cool. Except for these. These went down. Never mind. Those did not go up. Okay, so now let's actually... Actually, the last one we got a B. This one I got an E. I did really bad on that one. Let's go ahead and watch this one.
Before we go over to the
Let's see
National
what we
Night
missed.
News team,
Probably the
there's
censorship.
Just time to
That
catch
makes
up on
sense.
our programming later tonight.
And
At 6:30
Advance still
PM,
went
it's
down.
What's
What
My
the
Odds
heck?
at Worth? And tonight, Frank Franklin and the team are in Grantstable trying to flog an Ottoman.
It's interesting. This is
At
actually like a
7 PM,
loading
It's
screen.
today's highlights.
On the people of this country.
National Night
There we
News.
go. Now I can actually
I'm Megan
absorb the
Wolfe.
story.
And I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply
Could be,
of oil
Alex.
and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Thanks, Patrick.
2 world wars? Shouldn't look that old.
Popular Canada Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's
Yes, it's so nice to be able to
announcement.
pay attention a little bit more, Frost.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international
I like that
community
music they have. It's very
by showing
intense.
that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive.
Mm-hmm. And they made this game years ago, right, Alex? Like, they probably started this game
We
multiple
are a
years ago.
team.
It just
Now
came out
more
last
than
year, though,
ever.
right?
And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
A
She's
Flard
not
day's
answering.
night. Following the release of the Flard-Master 5000,
Yeah, I mean, they probably started this game,
production
like,
of Flards
2
are at an
years ago, at
all-time
least.
high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard, the team at Remington Cyst certainly have their hands full keeping up with demand.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick to find out. Patrick?
Do you have an opinion of Flards at all?
Oh my god, I love Flards, isn't it?
I don't really know what Flards
Do you
are.
remember when we didn't have Flards and we had to rely on words? I'd never.
I think it's just a made-up thing that is, like, meaningless.
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for commuters this morning who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Oh,
Many
no,
travellers
same
reported feeling
problem.
intimidated
Same
by
problem.
the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning
And
of
there's the
strange protest.
resistance.
Or to apologise to this presenter for making him drop his morning bagel in surprise.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
I need to,
Are
like,
those
review
the guys
some
in
of the
black with
videos they
orange
talked
fist
about at
thing?
Frost,
That's
but
right. Can I be honest?
Of course.
it just seems like it's like a
This is journalism.
tool electronic
They
they used to
scare me
kind of do
a bit.
everything. You know, just like
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong
I
and
don't
Dr.
even know.
Ingrid Sford
I don't even
and
know.
Hawkinsford today sent a
That's my
blueprint
favorite
of the
name
escape
ever.
craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistic
Operation
engineers
Escape.
to,
Let's
that
leave.
looks like something my granddad made in his shed. It sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan?
Just cheese
Patrick
puffs.
Cannon again.
So I'd imagine
Food.
that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my god! How did you know?
Maybe
It's a
pet
brilliant
rocks.
idea. I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course. I can't actually go diving because I'm scared of salt.
Is that a thing? How could you be
I am
scared
not
of
a
salt?
number. Applications finally open today for the new advanced team
There
membership
probably is a
cards,
phobia for that.
scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about
It
these
definitely sounds
team
too good to be
membership
true.
cards?
Team membership cards.
I don't really join things as a rule. As Mother always said, membership is mostly for unmentionables, Malcolm.
And finally
I
tonight,
like that guy.
back of the net, popular sports personality
There it
Johnny
is.
Hounsleeves and his fiancée
If
Tiffany
it
Lamore
exists, there's
was
a
spotted
phobia
out today
for it,
doing a
right?
little
Thank you,
shopping
Relentless.
for what many are already calling
phobia.
the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My Teenage Secretions,
Oh my
has sold
gosh.
better than expected, as by the looks of things, the whole affair is about to become more
That's
expensive
awful.
than Little C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Disgusting.
I just love how he
Wise
chimes in
words
there.
there.
I don't know who
Later
that
tonight,
is.
in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National
Nightly
Nightly
News. News.
I feel like salt is a pretty good known quantity, though, you know? It's kind of in almost everything you eat. It's in the tears that come out of your eyes. It's in the ocean. Oh, that makes sense, Alex. Creating like a new class system, right? Now that they've redistributed the wealth. And when I see that term, halophobia, relentless, it looks more like a fear of the game Halo. Halophobia?
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Yeah, that's a little too
Tonight,
close
we
to
have
reality
guests
right
from across
now.
the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't.
He has a
say that
world's
easy, I'm
best
afraid,
Prime
old son.
Minister cup.
And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Minister, as one of those
Okay.
arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health care facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk.
Minister of Mojo. I missed that.
Just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah?
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council
Björk.
today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, vote thing, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Feuerlands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to work our grandparents clean, yeah, whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process.
Ew, lick your grandparents
You're
clean.
like sissy man. You had this expression, sissy man, is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
I know,
Actually,
Frost.
that's
It's
quite homophobic,
movies and games do
Oh,
such a good job of
stop
predicting
winding
things,
him
don't
up,
they?
Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy.
Or
Ivan and I
situations.
used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how
The guy's
well
a
we're
one-hit
doing,
wonder.
they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. It can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helge, she got arrested yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jan Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. I wonder what became of her.
Jam
we seem to be
sandwich.
wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power outages.
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Bjerg?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister.
Wait, which bodily fluids
Your
do you
It's
use
like
for
man who
money?
think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. When really, he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody.
Oh, you
Don't
know.
be afraid.
You know.
Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After
The problem with that relentless is the entrepreneurs out there will be exhausted, right?
Tired of dull and lifeless hair?
Oh my God, did you see her skin?
Dry and brittle split ends? Then say hello to Acid.
After all of that salt lotion she was using, she's turning into a monster.
Intensive treatment that repairs and protects hair.
That's kind of amazing. I know, I was way off on that one, Frost.
Contains an organic blend of ingredients that penetrate deep into your hair.
Hey, Jada, good morning. How you doing?
That looks and feels healthier. Acid Gastrique. Acid Gastrique nourishes from root to tip for 8 times the
So,
strength of
acid
other
gastrique, is this just like acid you're putting into your hair?
The intensive formula acts fast, repairing damage and strengthening strands for hair that's truly unbreakable.
I was gonna say, how long until she's like going bald, right?
Rapid repair and protect, deep nourishing, intensely strengthening pro-V
I feel like
the irresistible, healthy,
we're gonna see the
great hair
slow
that make you say,
degradation of this woman
"Look
over
at
the
my
course of the
hair."
game.
Acid Gastrique, because you have to.
Oh, that's gastric acid, the stuff you put in your that your stomach.
back.
Oh my
I'm Megan
gosh,
Wolf.
that's got to
Later,
be
we have
terrible
an
for your
exclusive
hair.
first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest.
True,
Jeremy.
that is a good reason to be scared
Thanks,
of salt, Frost.
I
If
have
you're
the
using
honour
it
and
that much.
privilege of being joined by
I'm doing
hip-hop
great, Jada.
royalty.
I'm so happy it's
He's been
Saturday.
called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
That name, oh my goodness.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
That'd be a better name,
But yeah,
Frost.
man, the
J.
streets is all I
Sus.
remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically, right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets.
She died in the shop.
Months old.
What a tale. What a tale.
It was a year and a half, and she
You're
died
known
in
for
his
your
arms.
direct
What?
and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your
Something's
troubled
not adding
past?
up.
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem.
He's like so full of it. I love it.
Recently,
It
you've been
totally
quite
does,
outspoken
Jada,
about the
doesn't it?
government.
Yeah.
What is it that you object to so
He's flipping off and then
Well,
pieces.
You know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
redistributing it? Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like...
Trying to help you out here?
Why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Same
now
for
give me a
us,
very
same.
easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is.
State of the art?
the
Oh,
new
you give me
song.
way too much credit.
Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
When I was trying to keep up with the beat, I missed a lot of the censorship.
You're gonna pay back.
It's like, what do they say? Patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time? Couldn't do it.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this fucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julie all your schemes? I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help.
All the censorship's gonna ruin the song.
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one
Yeah, it
ever
doesn't seem that
pleased me, but
sporadic,
I
does
won't
it?
waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive,
I missed
my
that
taste
one.
may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we play. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna cause he's thick, he's got a job, he's unfaithful. It's time to stone the castle with a pitchfork.
Not a bad song, actually. Especially in the, you know, interest of what they're trying to tell.
And the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their loved ones who had plenty like a mother. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal.
The dancers seem so out of place, though.
We're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the press of the ways, cause we're only equal people.
Yeah.
When slaves, gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna cause he's thick, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with a pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your in the street. Let him feel heat, say you hate.
Oh, now I see what I had to cut out. All I was doing was watching the color of the waves. I wasn't actually looking at the words. Yeah, we had to bleep out the go-getters, burning stuff. We had to do that as well. Oh my gosh. So much beeping I had to do. Thank goodness for the subtitles we turned on, because otherwise I'd have no idea what he actually
Jesus
said.
there with his new song, thank you so much for joining us in the studio.
Oh, that would make more sense, Frost. Yeah, it might have been
sorry.
much better for a different song with the
I may not
dancers.
agree with you, but I'd just like to offer
Rainbow,
you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your
It was
lips.
intense.
Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there. Sorry about that.
Just a bit.
Well,
Just
thank
a
you
bit.
to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
What was the second commercial we picked? I don't remember.
Jenny, this is...
Yeah, well, at the time, Alex, I was thinking like, you have to do this, otherwise you lose, kind of thing. Oh, this is that sports game, wasn't it? Oh, this is that game that they were playing earlier, wasn't it? Oh, it was terrible. We got to watch like a live action sports board game. It was so bad. This game made no sense watching it live. I can't imagine trying to do it reading rules.
We win your kids. Sorry, they're ours now. Forget those tiny old
We win your kids.
The sports board game is the only game your family is going to want to play.
Jeez, lady. Oh, those are the two people we saw playing the championship game. That's right, on the cover.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken.
Oh, thank you
Sitting
for the heads
across
up,
from us
Alex.
are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raven, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all.
National
Tell us
deficit.
about the show.
You know what?
Jeremy's great.
It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like
Thinks my name's Toby.
spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's
no.
lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic.
I feel like this guy's
ripped my
just
trousers off and got
absorbing all of the money they can
Why
from
did you
advance just
do
to like,
that?
throw
I
out
do
more
my best work with
propaganda
my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been
in
told that
theatre
too.
form.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart
Oh,
of
that
how
is kind of
tough
sad,
it is to
Alex.
be me. I call it
We have a good imagination,
Tommy
though.
Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
It's catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life.
Oh yeah,
as
this is
well
the
as
terrible
epic
acting.
fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
I love showing her in a bunch of different hats.
Dad-
That's one thing that changes.
You promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. But you're an embarrassment.
But, Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
It's the same thing, but medieval clothes.
What's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan.
Those are
And
some
for once,
intense
this show
earrings.
really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will
It's
be
hard not to look
dying
at him,
know
right?
Exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Nailed it with that
Can you
shot.
give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
Every once in a while, the editing, it's like, well, that was actually pretty good, John. And then 5 seconds later, it's like I totally linger on a scene too long.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
That's right, the big budget CG dragon.
We do this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit.
Oh,
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight.
What is with that
Join us
guy?
tomorrow when I'll be interviewing
Like, not really
the
there.
world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
Are we really going to see a horse in the next one?
Hi, it's Crazy Neil here. I'm the druid, the really fluid, because I've got a solstice.
He's a druid?
So come on down to Crazy Neil's for a crazy midsummer deal.
I love his different themes.
Patio furniture, some garden furniture. Patio furniture with some garden furniture next to it on the garden next to the patio. We've got garden furniture that looks like a cello. Garden furniture that looks like a car. Garden furniture that looks like garden furniture. Come on down for a crazy midsummer deal. We've got all sorts of stuff in the garden. We got fish. We got flowers. We've got dishes. We've got sacks. We've got garden plants. We've got garden ponds. We've got fronds. If you want an elephant, you can take it away in a wheelbarrow. You want it? We've got it. We've got bird baths. We've got duck baths. We've got fire pits. We've got a whole mess of crazy frogs with water coming out of their mouths. This is a crazy deal from a crazy midsummer deal. Gnome from gnome, home from home. We got more than 7 gnomes because we've got men with trombones.
More than 7 gnomes.
Giants. We've got crazy garden gnomes with glasses. What's all that about? If you've got a loved one and you want them buried in your back garden, come on down to Crazy Neil because we've got a headstone for you. And guess
Oh
what?
my
It's
gosh.
50% off engraving. I'm not even making a profit. I'm making a loss. Get on out to the Crazy Neil deal summer.
Don't bury people in your backyard. Just don't do it. I like that. Is anyone here really all there, John? No. Everybody's got something, right? Okay, now we got to watch. That was the actual broadcast of everything I captured. So now we want to see all of the stuff from the multiple cameras that we didn't capture. Basically the behind the scenes stuff, things that you weren't meant to see in the broadcast. So I want to go back, and it's in the rushes. Yeah, that's it. Gosh, day 232.
Ow! God, I'm sorry. What
the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I haven't had any food today.
Oh, you're fired.
What?
You're fired.
What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny,
Problem?
I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
Dang.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Bozeman.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath. You're going to have to leave.
Wow, so she's sucking her way up to the top. Oh, that sounded terrible.
Letting it go to
You know what I meant.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
That's all
everybody.
part of
With
the team
casserole,
these days.
with casserole.
That's it, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Sorry, in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, that's getting dangerous. Like you were saying earlier, Alex, it looks like she's trying to work her way to the top, and now she's taking more control for us. No, I just mean that she's like sucking up to the company, as in like doing whatever they want, and now she's like throwing some, power around, making those power plays. I hate it when you say something and you like, wait a second, that could be taken way out of context. And I think anytime it says
Wise
sequence
words
1,
there.
it could have been
Later
something
tonight, in a bit
else.
of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Z.
Okay, so we can fast forward a little bit.
That's the titles.
Check my makeup.
There we
Maybe
go.
there's someone to do it for you.
She's not your enemy.
Is it you then?
No, it's Bannon. He's been sending coded messages to Bozeman after every show.
Of course, it's the only credible solution.
You must be very disappointed.
Yes, until now I thought him as a son I'd never had.
I prefer you like this.
Going in 10 seconds.
What did I miss?
I'm sorry I snapped at you.
5,
Particularly squeeze
4,
nails on it.
3.
Well, who is Bannon again?
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today
Thank
agrees
you,
that
Relentless.
punitive and potentially
Mwah.
illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to
It even
stop the
sounds
flow of
weirder
food,
like that,
fuel,
in a
and
way.
even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we
Okay,
have
I
guests
think-
from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For advance,
See,
Peter
Patrick
Clement is at his home
Bannon.
in
I can't remember
Lancashire.
which character that was. I think we can skip most of this because we captured pretty much all this. Wait, was Patrick Bannon, is that this guy, the main advanced guy? There might have been something like at the very end of that whole thing that we missed.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going
Oh, the other journalist, the guy that's like kind of out on the streets. Okay, so he's sending secret messages to Advance, huh? Or Bozeman, kind of like I guess he's not Advance. He's like the main lead of the news station now, but seems to be bought out by Advance because he wants to do all the censoring and things like that. I liked Bannon. I'm not so sure anymore now. Okay, what do we have in this Jay Zus one? I guess we can kind of see what's going on when they're prepping things.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Meghan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yeah, because this is during a commercial
thanks for
break.
having me on your show,
Wait,
man.
what happened there?
You?
He goes to shake his hand. Oh, he
thanks
pulls
for
him
having
up
me on your show,
harsh.
man.
Okay.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5.
What did he say?
I'm just saying. Shouldn't are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Going in 5.
Oh, did I miss a scene in that last
4,
video, Alex?
3.
Okay, we can skip most of this. There might be something that goes on in that bottom corner. I know they were doing some work there before it started.
Look a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh. No, they're just getting in place. Okay. And there might have been something we missed at the end, because we had to cut for commercial, too.
I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs.
That's what it seems like, huh,
and an
Frost?
attempt was made to censor.
We saw that part.
We will never. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit.
Jenny, this is fucking
There we go.
outrageous.
Thank you so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
And we messed up.
Talking about Jeremy.
And she's okay with it, of course, because she's in the pocket now, right? So you said there was a little bit of this foreign mistress thing, maybe at the very beginning that I missed? I guess because they were all on camera before we cut to them. That makes sense.
Wise words there.
Someone there for you. She's not your enemy.
So we saw that.
That is home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for...
Oh, no. I think it's just going to replay the whole thing. That's okay. We'll skip that for now. I'm not sure where I missed that. Let's check out this last one. Tommy on tour. It's so weird seeing loading screens. It makes sense, but like for an FMV game, usually there was like no loading ever.
Oh, shut up, stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this
I love
is
his
Raven.
disdain for Mr. Algebra.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Sorry. Cheers.
5.
Ew.
4.
You just give him his gum?
3.
Okay, I don't think there was any cuts to anything. Except for maybe at the very end. Because I think we were able to capture their voices throughout the whole thing. I know, I think we saw all that too. Yeah, that weird clammy handshake. Oh, he gave him the gum back. That's what that was. I was wondering why they had a weird handshake, because he just held it the whole time. Look at that smile on his face. I love it. Okay. Now, let's see which adverts we missed. For day 3, we watched Flard Master. Did we watch that one? We didn't watch the rationing one. We watched this, the sports board, and I think Flard Master. Let's check this one out. Some of these commercials are very similar to previous days. Oh, that's Neil. Okay, so we saw that one, but we did not see Flard Master. Or the advanced rationing. I don't think I'm ever going to play an advanced commercial on air.
Hi, I'm Sophia Remington, CEO of Remington's Fist, and I'm so excited to be able to tell you about our newest product. Everybody loves Flards. After all, from holding your house up to keeping your bills down, there really seems to be no limit to their uses. But there is a problem.
It seems like some electronic automation thing.
I brought you some new flowers. Hey, what's up? You seem sad, Brad.
You know I love working with flowers, Janet. But sometimes they can be a bit fiddly to get in place.
Oh, that sounds bad, Brad. There has to be a better way.
Or is it some kind of material you used to
Now
build
there
things?
is. This bad boy is the
Oh!
Flagmaster 5000. Don't worry, the safety catch is on. Otherwise, it could quite literally take out a rib. Just point it at the target, set the 15 dials, and
His
pull the trigger,
reaction.
and it'll punch a flard right through the goddamn wall. So, whether you're engineering a rescue craft, a bit of home improvement, or just helping your kids out with their homework, if you can't get by without flards, you need the Flardmaster 5000. Thank goodness it's available in all reputable stores.
Reputable, huh? Still have no idea what the hell it is. Maybe it is cheese poofs, Frost. It absolutely could be. Use cheese poofs for home improvement, right? Let's see, advanced rationing was the other one we didn't watch.
Here at Advance, we know you're worried about the future. This territory is changing fast, and that makes other countries uncomfortable. But that won't stop us. And we intend to make sure that in these challenging times, every citizen gets their fair share of the abundant, nutritious food we grow right here in the territory. Your entitlements book will be coming to you by post in the next few days.
We'll be getting that soon.
And it will let you claim enough food for the week, every week, at one of our many new distribution centres. Everyone will get their fair share, and no one will be left behind. So you can carry on coming together to enjoy life and make wonderful memories. Because we've shown our international friends what's possible when we all pool our resources and come together in a sense of team spirit. So don't worry about what the rest of the world thinks. Save your concern for those around you, your family, friends, and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe from all the rest.
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying.
Let's keep on setting a shining
Gosh, like I had to like watch commercials just like that. Oh, everything would be so frightening, right? Oh, it's 5 a.m., Alex. I have no problem with you just passing the hell out, dude. Thank you so much for coming. I totally understand if you pass out during this. I can't believe you're awake this late anyway. Whoa. Okay, so that was the adverts. We are ready for the next chapter. I'm curious to see what these food stamps, essentially, that we're going to be getting is rationing. That's probably going to be part of the next story bit, I believe. Oh yeah, your wealth is affected by your choices at work and at home. A ladder worth climbing. Okay, it's a lazy Sunday afternoon in summer, and with you and Sam making the most of both kids being out of the house, you bang your head coming out of the cupboard with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. Who puts cake in the cupboard? Doesn't that have to be in the refrigerator? Anyway, it used to be much easier when you could store things in the pantry, but Mom's living in the pantry. It's rare for you and Sam to actually get to finish sweet things in this house. You savor every moment. The kids must eat all the sugar. Just as you take your last bite, you hear the sound of the front door slamming. That'll be Charlie back from the go-getters. You can hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. Okay, now I really regret sending our kid there. You and Sam play along, sitting attentively with bated breath. Really? Already? Charlie asks as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket and proudly presents it to both of you to examine as he announces, "As of today, I'm a member of the first tier of Cohesion Cadets. There's way more stuff I'm going to be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it's really cool." So we can congratulate Charlie, but you can't help but frown. This seems like a big step up for teenagers, or you and Sam grin back to your son. You're thrilled that he's happy and doing well. I feel like I'm worried as what they're doing with him now. I'm going to try to be much more cautious and worried about what, Advance is doing, and try to be as thrifty as possible so we don't have to support Advance just to help our family. See if we can turn this ship around a little bit. 278, a sign of things to come. Oh, are we in a plane? Or that's a car, okay. Shopping, something that has always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has now become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you needed for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be long. Oh, so we're in like a traffic jam or something. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in the advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. This intro reminds me so much of Firewatch, the beginning of Firewatch. Good evening. Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Didn't Sam sign you both up for yours a few weeks back? You rummage in the glove box and eventually produce your card. Yep, that's all great, thanks. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the new team lottery starting up soon. Loads of great benefits to be won. You have a nice day now. The man is all smiles as he pats the bonnet of your car and waves you off. Let's see. So free prizes just for having the card? Fantastic. Or, so they're mandatory now? I like that. Oh my goodness. Georgie. Smells like he took a dump in here. He just had some rancid farts. You know, usually Andy complains about it. I don't really notice them, but that one I did. It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event. Bozeman was very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late. Saturday! Nice. I love that. So let's see. We already skipped a work weekend once. You can't do it again. Best go. Or you can live with another note from Bozeman, if you can keep your Saturday night. So, like this one, I don't have as much of a problem going to the event. Because, one, it says you've already made the most of your Saturday, so we've had a very productive day, gotten a lot done, and there doesn't seem to be any looming thing. Like, I remember one time we had a vacation planned with our wife for our anniversary. I didn't want to cancel that. This one, I'm like, okay, like, we can go. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job, right? I don't know, I wouldn't say that. A national news night. Gosh, we're almost at a whole year at this job. You arrive on time, barely, at the Savagnin, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in, and quickly realize it's because the people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've seen in your life. This is where all the tax money's going, right? You submit to being patted down, and with a sigh of relief, you are led into the hotel. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place, and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please follow a manual here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. You feel a slight tap on your arm, and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He seats you at a table in the central floor area, with a decent view of the stage. Clearly, you're in Bozeman's good books at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've seen around the Channel 1 office before, but don't know that well. One of them informs you, far too excitedly, it's a very corporate evening of awards and speeches. At least the food should be good. Dinner is indeed lovely, and with the help of the, no doubt, very expensive wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, Much to your surprise, you're actually presented with the award of Best Newcomer to the Channel 1 family. Well, this was unexpected. As you walk up to collect it, you recognize the presenter as Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey of Incisors fame. Do we know that name? We might. He thanks Advance for sponsoring this year's gala, before specifically thanking Prime Minister Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. As you take to the stage, you see the front most central table does indeed seat the Prime Ministers, as well as Bozeman, Meghan, and some other very well-to-do types that you don't recognize. Where's Jeremy, huh? Yeah, right, Best Censorship Award. That explains all the security. As you're handed the award, Dr. Atkinson Blimey asks if you'd like to say a few words. I like this. You make a joke thanking Dave for fleeing the country and leaving you his job. No. Let's do some quick praise for Advance and Channel 1. We're at their event. Be nice. Don't need to, this isn't the place to start, making a mess of things. As you thank Advance, applause breaks out around the room. Both Peter and Julia stand up to magnanimously accept it before saying the night's not about them, but thanks all the same. As you head back to your seat, you see Bozeman nodding at you with a satisfied smile on his flushed face. Clearly, that was the right speech. Hashtag justice for Jeremy. He should be here. He's not sucking up enough. Just as you finished your dinner, one of the other people at your table points behind you. As you turn, you see Bozeman walking briskly past, with Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement in tow. You're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seemed to be introducing the Prime Ministers to a selection of people at different tables. Better them than you. You finish off the rest of the meal, listen to the last few speeches, and then head home. All in all, it was a surprisingly nice evening. You might actually look forward to the next one. Providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course. No, I think it's time to stop supporting this Advance group. They're definitely not doing well by the people. They made some great claims, and now all the money's going to these weird propaganda productions and these fancy dinners, and yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Jeremy definitely wasn't invited. Ooh, heat wave. A lot of people are going through a heat wave right now. Is it really hot where you guys are? It's actually kind of cool here today. Oh, turn everything on. Well, what's going on there? Oh, man. This is going to be tricky, so we have to turn on the fan, too.
I thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
And you have to aim it.
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
Is that right?
He's here to keep us safe from people like this, right?
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the guns.
10 seconds, everybody.
So we've got
There we go. Okay, I think that's correct.
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5.
I haven't loaded these.
3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
Oh.
Our main headlines tonight. Siege
behind.
mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions.
This is the same picture.
Now entering their 10th week.
They're the same
In
picture.
A statement from team headquarters a short
Right?
time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked
There's a phone. Now we just have a speaker.
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion,
This is gonna be
however
tricky.
slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Without a hitch, with the celebrity wedding of the year off the cards, rumours have been flying as to the why. Ever since they broke off their engagement, the separation of celebrity lovebirds Johnny Hansleaves and Tiffany L'Amour has been the subject of fierce
Let's go with number 4
speculation
for
in the
this one.
tabloids. But earlier today, Johnny finally spoke out. Johnny has said he's received an outpouring of support after coming out as gay at a press conference earlier today. In a heartfelt statement, he said that despite the fear of reprisals, it was time he finally shared his truth in the hope that gay young people would see that there's no shame in being a footballer. In it to win it.
There's no shame in
Exciting
being a
news
footballer.
from France today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country
Let's go with the
will
old
be picked
dude.
at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by,
It's getting hot.
it looks like pretty soon everyone's going
You really
to
got
have
to
to
listen
have
for
one.
that stuff.
Kiss me, Flardy. The nation's favourite all-rounder, the humble Flard, has risen to new heights today after a surprise
Oh
announcement.
no, not
The
Flard.
news that Flard fans all over the territory
Die,
have waited for
Flard.
is finally here. In a statement met with universal delight, Remington's Fist unveiled the next chapter for their faithful family favourite, the Flard. Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury Boatshoe, rumoured to be mortal enemies, are to reunite to celebrate
Oh.
their one mutual love in Die Flard, the movie.
That was the
Self-confessed Flardy, Sophia Remington, said,
that, like,
"It's
famous
only
director,
right that
right?
the real hero of our age takes centre stage in this no-holds-flard action thriller." Leaders shipping out. The trapped scientists undertaking a bold escape from Dante's taint have revealed which of their two erstwhile leaders will spearhead their journey to freedom. While throughout their careers it's
Go
been
for
clear
it.
that Doctors Wong and Swartzborg and Horgensford have worked best together,
Wait, which
it
one's
seems
the
one of
long
them is
name?
now going to be
That's who I want to
taking
pick. I don't know who it
back
is.
Ingrid has always been the tempered coolant to David's flagelized metal. So it's no surprise that with the unexpected challenges the team have faced, they chose her methodical and effective approach to getting the team home safely. Critics, however, have speculated that her strategy may be delayed, as her name takes much longer to say.
Yes. Okay, that
Burning
was the
down
good
the
one.
house. The capital was put on high alert last night after disrupt terrorists set an emblematic fire in the heart of Parliament Park. Violent conflict broke out at the demonstration after a mob
Let's
of
go
so-called
for.
protesters from the
Gotta
radical
listen for the
group
fan because they
launched
actually
an
just died
unprovoked
too. They
attack
said.
on community cohesion officers in attendance. With the methods of this increasingly violent rabble becoming ever more extreme, many are asking if the military should intervene. Colonel Phineas
Look how they
Mad
throw
Cattle
that.
Fortingly Davis of the 1st Mounted Bastards Brigade said his men were, and I quote, oiled up and ready for action.
Whoa.
All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as
Gotta go
one
to
of the
camera
contenders
4.
in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh, it's moving. I gotta remember to switch that back. I think I said it right, didn't I? Oh, it's off. There we go. Oh no, I'm missing it. Oh, this is terrible.
Tonight, our team of correspondents has been
Oh,
dispatched
it's
to
too much
every
at once.
corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented.
Well, then that's good to know.
First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
They hit me with everything at once. That was tricky.
Absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns at the University of Brixford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a
Oh,
study
no.
into just what's causing this unbelievable heat. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their
Oof.
sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no
Stupid
cause
hot
for any
weather.
concern here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
What is that weird
Well,
noise?
We take data from weather stations from all over the world.
Oh, it's
along
the
with
equipment
atmospheric
behind
samples,
her.
And we
Okay.
take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art.
Nothing to worry about. It's
and
fine.
Very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
Do I ever have to press this control? I don't think I ever do.
None of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their
Oh, no, you don't.
unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go. friends. Ha! As expected.
Yeah, it looks like they have a lot to
everything
say,
is
Alex.
Absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Oh, no.
Right, but
Oh, not you
just
too.
a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so, you know.
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Why, God, why? What was that noise?
Yeah, we need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look first.
I forgot that noise.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around
Oh my
looking
gosh.
Like that.
Shit,
There you go.
shit,
Much
shit.
better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this.
This is
Everyone,
crazy.
You don't have long. Time is running
It's
out.
running out. Absolutely right.
I heard the
That's
fine
all we
die.
have time for.
Abandon hope
We're
and
back
return
on.
to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
Hey.
Oh, the fan died again. Am I supposed to go to commercial? Oh, power.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do
Oh, my
some
lord.
actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy.
This is gonna be a
I'm here
tough
in
chapter.
Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school.
Oh,
and
that was the guy we picked the
Amelia
picture for.
Jackhaller, an aspiring poet.
Oh, no, you don't.
Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's
Son of a-
amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with...
Oh, it's too hot. Power died. Why can't I turn that on? There we
I've
go.
been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the guttering.
Might have missed something. Oh,
Absolutely
my lord.
terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about
Does the
this.
broadcast go completely out when the power goes
about
out?
the moment when you
Or
first heard
is
the
it still going to have something
Well,
when we review it?
I was battling against a particularly difficult floater.
Son of a-
One of the sixth formers. When the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both
And what a terrible job, huh?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh,
Oh, that's good to know, Alex.
unexpected.
That would suck if you lost the content for that section.
I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So Gary,
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
there's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team
No,
membership,
thank you.
was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No.
Or an anthology
No.
Death of Innocence.
Oh, I
I'd
love
rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
it. Oh, no.
Are you
Uh-oh.
all right?
Yes.
I hear something weird.
It's inspiration.
Everything
and
working?
It's delicious.
Okay.
Right you are.
Today on the show, there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
Oh, I heard that.
Bigham's my favourite. See how
Stay
it's
on.
fibrous, really lovely texture.
There we go.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
That's his poo collection?
The national news used its way.
Look at her
when it
reaction.
covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this
What's going
segment,
over here?
It's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which was recently voted
Uh-oh.
the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this,
Ah.
the smell really is. I mean, it's something else.
Crap.
Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very
I'm glad the
proud of
last
our
chapter was a little bit
achievement, to be
easier
honest
for
with ya.
mechanics. It let me
So
ease
that's
back
been
into it
proud
before
of.
this.
Do you know what it's like, son?
What was that
being
noise?
in the second smelliest town.
Is that when this is synced
living
up?
in the shadow of Arseminster, those smug fucks.
But who's laughing now, eh? What, not me, that's for sure. So what happened, mate? Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory. You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flard factory. Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs.
He looks like he's about to throw up.
As soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here. Does this stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love. It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks and your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed. So, what's the sickness? That's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop.
You think we could get better air
symptoms.
conditioning in here?
Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the fume valves on the high street. On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms? Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
Whoa.
The next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
That's not really a problem. There was
Oh no. Two things are happening at once. And I heard the fan just turn off.
Now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me?
Oof.
I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want. That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence. Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man, what's the point? And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness. Nana Dottie? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows?
Made out of
I don't need
elbows?
opinions. Ooh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
I love how he turned into the newscaster.
Thanks, Baron. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back, I'll be talking to three members
Commercials?
of the general public who appear to be here
Why aren't they showing them
purely
up
for
here?
medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, there we go.
1 minute
This next section features a potentially controversial guest. Advance may request some censorship if he goes too off-topic. You've done a great job so far keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
Now I think we're not going to help out advanced censorship.
Every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
We lost you a little bit, huh, Alex? Pretty soon, we'll not hear for you for the rest of the stream. Oh, we got to see that segment. Not too good. Not too good. What is this thing? Oh, that's a new tape. Hold on. Let's swap one of these.
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister or a report from Grentham Downs. Even
Actually, let's do it the last
more
one.
relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Please
There we
take
go.
this as quickly as you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4,
Oh, man.
3.
Which one?
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
I think I
With
cut in
your
too
host,
early.
Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3
Professor
guests with some
Pumpkin?
balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Oh my
Tell
God,
us,
kill me
what
now.
brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election and it hasn't stopped since.
Oh no.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting.
It's like, hold on, not
Sorry,
done.
my bowels have comic timing.
And finally,
Comic
I'm
timing.
going for a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
Oh man, the way they're throwing these bleeps in there with everything moving is tough.
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
It's hard to keep up with the conversation.
But it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
This is gonna be so crazy.
No.
Or a sellout cunt.
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles
My
13
goodness.
Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh.
For those, that's just another Friday. I love it. Okay, we're not going to censor that.
Well, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on! This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. Ginger Tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
Enough! That's enough!
Oh my goodness.
Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
He's got a gun.
Alex, cut.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio.
Holy crap.
I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be.
The ratings are going up.
It's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brinks of a siege the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go.
That stopped her
Before I change my
hiccups.
mind. Jenny,
That's amazing.
lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right then. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now.
I'm glad the
sure
fan
you've
is
already
working.
Loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right.
Oh, I already
It's a
loaded that
VHS
commercial.
tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines. And when I say
It's in
so,
3.
and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided All but now, we're going to show the other side.
Disney, how's it
For a
going?
bit of fucking balance. Like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start.
Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that.
Uh-oh. Let's see how this goes.
I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
All right, we're playing this special tape. Oh, I'm serious. Oh, A+ segment rate. Nice. We haven't gotten an A+ in a long time. And Disney, I am doing great. Enjoying the weekend so far. Going to have some friends over to play games later. How about you? Any fun plans this weekend? Is that done? Are we done? Or are we waiting for the commercial to be over? We can actually listen to it.
Is wrong.
There we go.
Why would you trust a man too scared to
It
show
says
his
replay. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to restart it or not.
Don't switch off. Please, don't switch off.
Oh no, not that
My
guy.
name is Alan James.
No.
And I think that certain rights are worth fighting for. The right to keep the rewards of our own hard work. The right to be kept alive in our dotage.
Oh, are
and
you
the
planning
right
on going to
question
Disney
our
World
government
soon?
Without worrying what our children will report to their fellow go-getters. I love this country. It may be what I am, and I'll fight for it. In fact, I'll die for it.
Oh, that's
if
going to
I
be
have to.
so much fun, Disney.
can't
I've never
condemn.
been, but I really want to go there.
Disrupt a growing movement.
How long?
But we need your help, your support, please. Look for us, find us,
And the
and
studio
if you
doors
also
all
know in
still
your
locked?
heart that there is something deeply wrong in this country, join us. Resist.
I don't know.
Disrupt.
Fluxbot.
This wasn't
That's
what I planned.
amazing. I love that
I
you
mean,
have
some
that
of it
emote.
I have speech, look. But this was unexpected.
Oh my goodness.
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You're already lying.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
Oh, I love that
Joining
Fluxbot.
me unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
The CCO.
Sorry?
It's Community Cohesion Officer, CCO.
And how's that for you, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
You heard about that new Fast Pass, Disney. That sucks that it costs money, though.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
Poor Jenny.
That's perfectly understandable. You'd want to do this. Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was?
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there's a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
He hates Alan James.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was
sorry.
Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
He's kind of a joke.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, Paul.
Seriously, Jeremy's in not a good
We
position.
are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave?
Ah,
Andy,
this is the
your
important
turn.
stuff that you
Make
don't want to
yourself
bleep
fucking
out.
useful.
I don't want to bleep out.
How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you.
Oh no.
You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Oh my gosh. And Disney World is always already so expensive. It sucks to have to pay more, right?
Sorry, everyone.
Otherwise, you spend all day standing in lines.
You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. And then he's done.
He's not
All
going to
cameras
shoot
on
himself,
me.
is he?
This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many
man.
people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway,
Yep, relentless.
that's why
One
I
brain
went
cell,
to
right?
See that broadcast in the last break.
Oh, I hope not. He's my favorite.
I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up.
But I don't see
We're
how he
all on
recovers
Ship
from this.
Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's also fucking pointless. I was going to quit.
Oh, I think I missed censoring that one.
Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm
Cut to
sorry.
the ads.
I've lost this
Alex.
fight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show
All
this.
of
Cut
you.
to the ads.
My name's Jamie
Now!
Donaldson.
Do it now!
If you can, somehow.
God, do I cut to the ads or do I show it?
I envy you if you can. Have a peaceful night.
Jeremy!
We're showing it. Now we go to the ads. That's no censorship, right? Oh my gosh. Holy crap. I guess we can turn that down for a moment.
Tomorrow, with the brand new
Ah, nice commercials.
a home computer entertainment
Let's hear about
system
Flard,
with
everybody.
sophisticated graphics and breathtaking sound.
Oh my lord. So we got a good grade. I have no idea what that's going to do for our job and everything. We're probably fired, you would assume.
Time to be alive. Surely games can't get any better than.
Okay, we'll watch a commercial afterwards. Hey, we got overall A though. That's pretty fantastic. Yeah, and they will kill you was an advanced censorship sentence. Good. I'm glad we let that slide. And Disney, you said you have to pay for food and merchandise and stuff, but they should have kept the fast pass free. Exactly. Because unless really what I think they do that for, Disney, is to probably being at I've gone to Disneyland many times, not Disney World, but I think that fast pass might be kind of a tax on the people that go there all the time with the season pass, because they don't really spend much money on food and drinks and stuff, because usually they're so close and they have a season pass. They just come in to hang out and, you know, jump in some lines, ride a couple rides, maybe have some food and take off. But if you can extract a little bit more money because the rides are now tougher to even get on in the first place, I think that might be what they're trying to do. I know, I feel so bad for Jeremy and that he's gone. Now we just have Megan, right? And she's already a puppet. Ugh. Oh yeah, I always forget to look at this. Man, as soon as the proverbial hit the fan, look at that. Boom. Right at the very top of the ratings. The valves proved problematic. Advance angered by content. You played one advert too late. I did that on purpose. At least there was no interference. Adequately edited. All offensive words were censored. And the Donaldson situation has been resolved. Hey, we got our full wages? Wow. I kind of thought that we'd not be doing too good in money after that one. We went up with the Resistance. Of course, we went down with Advance. I forget what this one is. Channel 1, this is just the news station. Yeah, despite all of that, maybe because of the ratings. I mean, it seemed to me that this news station was kind of already in the pocket of Advance, but maybe not. Maybe there is some distinction still. Okay, now I want to watch that whole thing unedited. Well, edited the way I did it, but I could pay attention to everything, especially the beginning. The last little bit I was able to pay attention to because there wasn't much editing going on, but the beginning was crazy. So 296.
Well, in less than a minute, we'll be going live to the newsroom. But before that, let's take a quick peek at tonight's scorching lineup. At 6:30,
that is how the
Megan
channel
will visit
thinks.
the
Okay,
beach,
thanks.
Chatting with members of the general public.
Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
Nicolaj, how you
The
doing,
World
dude?
Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Yeah, that all hits a little
Without
too
a
close to
hitch,
home right now.
With the celebrity wedding of the year off the cards, rumours have been flying as to the why. Ever since they broke off their engagement, the separation of celebrity lovebirds Johnny Hansleaves and Tiffany L'Amour has been the subject of fierce speculation in the tabloids. But earlier today, Johnny finally spoke out. Johnny has said he's received an outpouring of support after coming out as gay at a press conference earlier today.
At least it had a happy ending.
In a heartfelt statement, he said that despite the fear of reprisals, it was time he finally shared his truth in the hope that gay young people would see that there's no shame in being a footballer.
I just love that last
In
line.
it to win it, exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to
Oh,
be.
we don't know what that is yet.
Take up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon
Coffee,
everyone's
what's up?
going to have one. Kiss me, Flardy. The nation's favourite all-rounder, the humble Flard, has risen to new heights today after a surprise announcement. The news that Flard fans all over the territory have been waiting for is finally here. In a statement met with universal delight, Remington's Fist unveiled the next chapter for that faithful family favourite, the Flard.
How can they talk about it so much and I don't know what it
Helena
is?
Canterbury Boat Shoe, rumoured to be mortal enemies, are to reunite to celebrate their one mutual love in Die Flard the movie. Self-confessed Flardy, Sophia Remington, said, "It's only right that the real hero of our age takes centre stage in this no-holds-barred action thriller." Leaders shipping out. The trapped scientists undertaking a bold escape from Dante's taint have revealed which of their two erstwhile leaders will spearhead
I like
their
that
journey to
emote.
freedom.
The dude.
While throughout their careers it's been clear that Doctors Wong and Swartzborg and Horgensford have worked best together, it seems one of them is now
That
going
name.
to be taking a back seat. Ingrid has always been the tempered coolant to David's flagellized metal, so it's no surprise that with the unexpected challenges the team have faced, they chose her methodical and effective approach to getting the team home safely. Critics, however, have speculated that her strategy may be delayed, as her name takes much longer to say. Burning down the house? The Capitol was put on high alert last night after disrupt terrorists set an emblematic fire in the heart of Parliament Park. Violent conflict broke out at the demonstration after a mob of so-called protesters from the radical group launched an unprovoked attack on community cohesion officers in attendance. With the methods of this increasingly
I just love
violent
throwing
rabble
that bottle.
becoming ever more extreme,
It looks
many
so
are
awkward.
asking if the military should intervene. Colonel Phineas Mad Badger Fortingley Davis of the 1st Mounted Bastards Brigade said his men were, and I quote, oiled up and ready for action. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions.
Your calling
as well
card
as
relentless.
one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
That feline thing they're talking about reminds me of, what is it called? They do like a puppy bowl during like the break in the Super Bowl, like at halftime. Maybe it's something like that. How you doing, Coffee? What's new? What you been up to? And Nicolaj, I love those emotes. I just hope that channel doesn't get in trouble for, you know, having copyrighted images and stuff on there. But they don't usually check those, I don't think, unless they're like inappropriate, as far as I know.
But first tonight, our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this
Ooh, what'd you do there?
unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful.
Notice
it? My
they're at the
eyelids
beach
are
and there's
sweating.
no wind at all.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
And did you pick up anything at that game fair, Coffee?
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll
Looks
be
like
getting
it's
a
from the
high-tech
50s.
readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go.
I love how she didn't actually say something personal, she just
As
read that.
expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on.
Oops,
This-
I missed the second one there.
This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said...
Oh, I haven't heard of those. What console are those for?
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
There we are. We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here. Shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Come
We need to evolve gills.
go, much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this?
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr.
That's a
Burns
huge
for just
drink.
one
Oh my
opinion
goodness.
On the climate.
The sea will
Oh, that
reclaim
was
us
tabletop
all.
games,
There
not
you
video
have it,
games.
Jeremy.
Okay, Coffee.
Proof,
Nice.
If proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm
Christian,
Megan Wolf,
what's in the book?
Here with science.
Going, dude.
Back to you.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, it's over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy.
So is there
I'm here
flard in that
Scritchford
bag?
with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia
That's what's in the
Jackhammer,
box,
an aspiring
Christian.
poet.
Flard.
Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do
Yeah,
was fill in a
good.
quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julius Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely
Wait,
terrific.
you're going
You
to their
must
house just to do
both be
manual
over
labor?
the moon.
What the heck?
A poem about it.
So, can you tell
Disney,
me
you've
about
seen
the
that
moment
movie,
when
huh?
you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't.
Oh, you just know the
polish
quote. You should watch the movie Disney. It's
I
actually
write
really good.
poetry.
If you can handle an
potato.
intense
So, Gary,
Do you
R-rated
think
movie like that.
Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
There's no
kinda
harm in
triggering.
asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible.
Yeah, they made it required, I think,
It's
right?
important to know who
Oh,
we're
it's called
trusting around our
Seven,
children.
the movie.
I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No.
Or an anthology of haikus on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
Oh. Oh.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show, there's no news.
Yeah,
Just a
that
man
sounds about
who
right.
keeps multiple poos.
Here,
No.
this big one's my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Would
That's
you
so
encourage
gross.
other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather
I didn't
is
get to see much
affecting
of
the
this.
locals.
Patrick? Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you.
You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch.
He's excited
You know
for the
what it's
nasty
like,
smell.
son, being the second smelliest town. No, I don't. Living in the shadow of arsemen smug fucks. But who's laughing now?
Oh,
eh?
I was way off on
Well,
that
not me,
bleep.
that's for sure. So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flard factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon
Okay,
as we
so
heard about
Flard
the
is something they
stench,
have to
we paid
produce.
them
At
whatever
least we
they
know
wanted
that.
to put it here.
They need a factory for
Does
it.
stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
So, what's sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main. But I
gosh.
think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
Okay,
on the high
they need
street.
carcasses to produce Flard?
What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, this stinking old tramp?
Our next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
Oh, that's not really a problem. I've never sung in my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man, what's the point?
I wonder if they're going to have a replacement for Jeremy in the studio.
All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Nano Dotty? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
That's too much confidence for me,
Don't worry,
Relentless.
folks.
Couldn't handle
Once
it.
he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
You did pretty good at that,
Thanks,
actually.
Barry. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
I love his honesty, unless you got something better to do.
Tired of
poor
dull
woman.
and lifeless hair? Fed up of dry and brittle split ends? Then say hello to acid gastrique. Acid gastrique. The provitamin formula is a deep fortifying, intensive treatment that repairs and protects hair.
I think when we have another big time change, she's going to be like losing all of her hair.
Acid gastrique contains an organic blend of ingredients that penetrate deep into your hair, breaking down citrulline and glycogen for hair that looks and feels healthier.
Acid gastrique nourishes from root to tip.
Oh, for the
8
new
times
season,
the strength
Disney?
of our
I actually
brands.
really liked the
They're
new
one of the 6 out of 10
part
shampoos
of the
recommended.
new Stranger Things. I'm excited to see where it goes. I had no idea it was only the first part
intensive
of the
formula
season.
acts fast, repairing
Because I had a really
damage
like
and strengthening
cliffhanger
strands of
ending,
hair
you
that's
know?
truly unbreakable. Rapid repair and protect, deep nourishing, intensely strengthening Pro V formula, the irresistible, healthy looking great hair.
That's what you get, Relentless, for just rubbing salt on your face to get rid of all the, what do they call it? Dihydrogen oxide?
Because you have to.
I love that. Yeah, if you like the other seasons, Disney, I think the third one's probably the best.
Welcome back
The fourth is
to
the best
National
since the
Night in
first.
News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the Territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for
Jessie's
over 9
stranded
months.
on the
Isn't
futon.
that
Let me get her
right,
real
Miss
quick.
Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected.
Here it comes.
We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting.
It looked like he was about to start laughing.
I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr.
It's like
Truman?
that movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that right?
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
No.
Actually,
Oh,
I've been
Jessie.
surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my
It's
wife
so
left
adorable.
me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
All. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy,
I love his
your
honesty.
collision was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come now, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
that you're a team fit
No.
or a sellout.
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
To propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right.
Poor Jeremy,
Frankie,
he's
right,
losing his
tell us,
mind.
how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
No wonder he goes
Yes,
over the
we're
edge.
holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say.
Wow, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on! This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. Ginger Tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't.
Professor
Let
Pumpkin's
go.
the cat Goldie, I think.
Not you.
Unhand him at one.
Enough!
Whoa!
That's
Oh, I
enough!
missed that when I was editing.
Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to myself.
Alex,
Don't you dare! Don't you dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bonesman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single
It's
person
really intense when they're
in
talking
this
directly to
studio.
you.
I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right then. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me.
He knew our name.
Pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines. And when I say so, and not before, you play it.
What's funny is
got
I
about
had set
15
that up
seconds, so I wouldn't
way
waste any
earlier. I was
time.
like, yeah, I'm down.
Now, all cameras, all of you, on me. When we come back, we're going to news. And because every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banal, we're going to show the other side for a bit. For a bit of balance, like the good old days. Alex, play the tape.
What's great is I still cut it, like, you know, the swearing, even though with the situation, like, does that even matter? Oh yeah, I didn't get to listen to this, really.
You know who we are. You've seen our symbols on your walls. You've heard them lie about us on the news. We are the resistance. We are disrupt, and we're going to tell you the truth. Advance aided by the mass media are lying to you. The elderly are not a burden. The rich were not all crazy. And the team membership card is an ID card, no matter how tempting the prizes are. But who am I to tell you this? A voice from the shadows trying to tell you that everything you know is wrong. Why would you trust a man too scared to show his own face?
This is meant to look like anonymous, isn't it?
Don't switch off. Please, don't switch off. My name is Alan James, and I think that certain rights are worth fighting for. The right to keep the rewards of our own hard work, the right to be kept alive in our dotage, and the right to question our government without worrying what our children will report to their fellow go-getters. I love this country.
Our son is part of that go-getters
It may
group.
be what I am, and I'll fight for it. In fact, I'll die for it, if I have to. But I can't do it alone. Disrupt a growing movement, but we need your help, your support. Please, look for us, find us, and if you also know in your heart that there is something deeply wrong in this country, join us. Resist. Disrupt.
That was a good speech. It's just coming from that guy. Nobody believes anything, right?
This was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
Poor
It was
Jeremy.
supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
We're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
Poor Jenny. She likes to be behind the scenes.
That's perfectly understandable. Who'd want to do this? Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
Clever writing, isn't it?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this programme? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was?
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know. The people I met were with, he wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry, but seriously, Alan James.
That really screws things
Your
up.
life down the toilet for. God, I love you, Jeremy, but
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
that right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of Patrick is paddling about in and Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan James.
What are all those scientists
So
working on at
disappointing for
Grenfell
them.
Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy?
See, now, like in England, this makes a much bigger impact, I think. Because we're like, in America, everyone has guns. Especially if you're any kind of security officer, right?
Notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy?
But they're not nearly as common in the UK.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the news, Andy, or I'll force it down your throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone.
I'm kind of surprised it took security that long to get up there.
You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, shouldn't we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking
They said they
these
produce all their own
questions
food.
instead of, who is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves.
Love how he keeps going back to the cat.
That's why I arranged for you to see that broadcast in the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up.
So I wonder how it would play out if I didn't do
With
that.
a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's also fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news.
I kept trying to follow his eyes, whichever camera he was looking at.
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm sorry.
The ads.
I've lost this fight.
Alex, cut to the ads.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show
All
this.
of
Cut
you.
to the ads.
My name's Jamie
Now!
Donaldson.
Do it now!
If you can, somehow. And I envy you if you can. Have a peaceful night.
Jeremy!
Oh man, I wanted to stay on it though. He's so close to retirement, Frost. It's like that classic tale of like a cop that's about to retire. You know they're gonna get
CEO
called
of
out.
Remington's
They're gonna get
Fist.
killed then.
And I'm here today to take you on a trip to tomorrow with the brand new RS Rainbow, a home computer entertainment system.
I didn't get to watch
with
this at all.
sophisticated graphics and breathtaking sound.
These graphics are amazing.
They using
Brad.
Atari controllers?
That actually looks a bit like a real tank.
Oh, gee, Janet, what a time to be alive. Surely games can't get any better than this. And that sound.
I remember thinking that multiple times in my life.
Are they playing more than one note at the same time?
They can never get better.
4, Janet. 4 notes at the same time. That's enough for a chord.
But Sophia, surely a home computer entertainment system needs games. Damn straight. And with the RS Rainbow, there's an incredible 3 of them.
Whole notes.
You could be solving puzzles in Zark, or jumping about.
Are they tape loaded?
in Builder, or even taking on your friends in our incredible 2-player game Fighting. Yes, you heard me. 2 players at the
What?
same
I forget
time.
what year these things are supposed to
The
be.
RS Rainbow has a luxurious
Like this feels like
32K of memory.
late
So you
70s.
can have whatever game you can dream of. I'm Sophia Remington, and I can't wait to turn on
Zark fighting.
Cool kids say, zone out.
Twitchy Builder. Which Twitchy Builders, I think it's like a joke on Fortnite. Zark is a joke on Zork. And fighting is just, it could be anything, right? And entire chord in a video game? That's clever. Okay, so I think we'll be able to wrap up the rest of this stuff that we've missed in this before we wrap up the stream. I would try to do usually another chapter, but I do have friends coming over in a little bit, so I had to go a little bit early to help clean up and get things set up and everything. And Fighting 5, you imagine with Street Fighter? Probably. Yeah, probably. So under the rushes, there was a lot in the beginning that we missed. I know, especially Jeremy. This is going to be the last little bit of Jeremy we see in the game. Unless we have another weird nightmare dream sequence. I was having a lot of discussions in the beginning of this broadcast. Yeah, it looked like Mario Brother. It just kind of made me think of Fortnite based on the name alone. Twitchy builder, you know? Fortnite is kind of known for Twitch, like, what we're on right now. It's known for being a twitchy builder specifically because you have to build really fast to be like the best at the game. But the graphics looked a lot like Mario Brothers. There we go.
I'm sweating like Peter Clement in an off-license here.
Okay, we're working on it.
What, you've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds,
Wow,
everybody.
and he took it and shot
Any
himself.
actual real news tonight?
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4, 3.
And that's cool. I like that they kind of warn you that Andy's actually there. You didn't know that until later on in the broadcast. One thing I wish they could do is kind of keep playing them. It's not a big complaint or anything, but keep playing the music during those loading screens.
All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions.
When
as
it goes
well as
silent
one of
like
the
that, it's kind of,
contenders in this year's
like,
Feline
oh,
Football Championship.
is everything okay?
And her
Kind of
proud
disconcerting.
owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News. And after that, I'll be asking my own thumb what it thinks about the global financial situation, as well as what 3 members of the general public think about how a nuclear reactor might work.
Could you be a little more dismissive in your delivery? I think there's a viewer out there somewhere who missed it.
Viewers? We still have some of those, do we? Perhaps they're hoping to run into a fact.
Jeremy, get it together. Don't give Bozeman any more ammunition.
Oh, no, thank you.
Coming back from the titles, quiet in the studio.
I want to keep listening to that. Okay, there's a little bit we missed once this popped up.
We'll have some of those, do we?
Let's play this one just to see what they were doing.
You sure you don't want a drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
Sure?
No, I'd really best not.
Flips on the beach?
You're really not my type. Oh, go on then. But just the one. I am supposed to be working.
First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how...
Okay, let's get to the next spot. Oh, it was right here. Actually, this entire sequence, we get to listen to them. That's right.
How's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank
There we
you
go.
for asking.
Are you fucking kidding me? She's on a beach with a fucking cocktail with what looks suspiciously like actual news.
Would you rather she was here with you? Because that's been going so well recently.
No, I don't want that either. What I want is, well, never mind. Right now, I'd happily settle for a desk fan.
Bozeman will never approve it.
Do you know they have dinner together?
Who?
Bozeman and Megan, and Bozeman's wife, who is lovely, apparently. Who could have thought it? Bozeman managed to persuade some poor, hapless victim to shackle themselves to his ego.
Your mic's still live. And I have met Bozeman's wife, and she is lovely, actually.
What do you mean you've met Bozeman's wife?
I don't think we've seen her, have we?
How come you've met her? I don't even know she exists.
Because in the 8 years I've worked with you, I've never seen you attend a single workplace social event.
I hate them, they're agonising.
Yes. Imagine the horror of spending an evening with your colleagues.
I'd rather spend an evening with that fucking rapper.
Do you remember when you used
Speaking
to
of
be
which,
fun?
Frost.
Yes, it was about the last time we did the actual news, wasn't it? Before your lot turned into this shit.
I'm sorry. My lot?
Well, it's not my fault, is it? Why are you even here today? I mean, it's supposed to be your day off.
I am not talking to you.
Oh, they were such good friends. It sucks to see him start to fall apart, you know? And it's funny, they do that mostly just to get rid of all of the shininess, because, you know, especially when you're in front of the lights, you get kind of sweaty, you're oily. They powder just to kind of keep it more natural looking,
Go, 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 go.
which, of course, is the opposite of natural.
Go!
Okay.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science.
I'm going to swap back over here.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news.
Well, off you go then. Shoo, shoo.
Why are you doing this?
You know, for a smart person, you're really thick. People want their flards more than they want their planet.
Is it true Sophia Remington pays for your tennis lessons?
If you'll excuse me, I have to go and work on my serve.
That was a cute little exchange. Okay, now there's also some stuff going on down
I know you can hear me.
here.
Don't you walk away from me. Jenny!
Wait, let's put back up.
Heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's...
Wait, there's a little bit down here too I want to watch. Let's mute that one, unmute that one.
Could you just...
There we go.
Is this okay?
Oh yeah, for sure for us. I was just thinking more for like why they keep powdering them all the time during a, you know, whatchamacallit, broadcast or whatever. Any live
actually
TV
been
stuff.
writing about the moment we'd finally meet Robin. It's in iambic pentameter.
Oh. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe.
Okay, there wasn't much going on there.
Has anyone seen Jenny? 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 Can I get a refill, please? I know you can hear me. Don't you walk away from me. Jenny!
Ah, you pissed her off, dude. I'm trying to remember if he was wearing a jacket when he shot himself. Maybe he puts it back on real quick, just for consistency before it gets started. You know, there's one time at my work, and I work in an office, where it got so hot and the AC wasn't working for a while. I think we had at least a week of dealing with this. All my coworkers, kind of like in a strike, at least in my local area, we all wore shorts to work. And you shouldn't really be wearing shorts to the office I work at, but we just kind of made a joke of it because the situation was so ridiculous. Although now in that situation, it's much more normal for people to work from home, which is nice.
No, not that. Look, I know it's not your job, but can I get a refill, please? Look, I know it's not your job, and I don't want to come over entitled like a certain co-host of mine, but my throat is dry, and I have to be sat here until the inevitable clusterfuck of an interview that is this, Gary the Shit Collector, comes to an end. So if you wouldn't mind, please. Well, go on then. Thank you.
Very, very, very short strike. We wore shorts for a couple days. Luckily, the problem didn't last that long. I wonder if they had this whole sequence done to show them in the background that they could actually like, react to it and stuff. Or if they just kind of said, hey, at this moment, we need you to do this kind of reaction. That could be tricky because you'd have to film things in a certain order to enable them to react like that. And who knows if that works around their schedules and everything. And it's kind of interesting watching how some movies film themselves completely out of order, you know, and other ones, they try to actually film the movie in the same order the events happen chronologically, which is kind of cool.
And that's all we have time for today.
Okay, that was the end of that
Back
one.
to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky...
Let's check this one.
Does he change his tie? No. Does he wash his hair? Doesn't do anything. But he's not also stuck here in this hellhole of a place,
You
sweating
see
his
how the
arse off.
unprecedented weather
I mean, it's unreal,
is
it's
affecting the
horrible.
locals.
Patrick?
Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here
Let's go
live
back
in
to him.
Grizzle.
There's his water.
Poor bastard.
My God, have you finally found someone in a worse situation than you?
I'm picking up that you might be somewhat annoyed with me.
For your information, Jeremy, me and my lot aren't the reason there's no real news left. I put plenty of ideas forward, but they always get squashed up the chain.
Fucking Bozeman.
No, not Bozeman, further up.
Oh, tell me more.
I shouldn't have even said that.
I would think so too, Frost. Yeah, you think that would work better for the
Patrick,
actors.
who's not looking presentable
But
now, eh?
money-wise, especially if a movie's has some cyclical things where you go back to certain areas, I could see why they'd want to film them all in one location at once.
He hasn't even got a fucking tile.
Gosh, I can't remember the last time I wore a tie. That's when I got married. Or actually, no, I was a groomsman in a wedding after that. That was probably the last time. Luckily, I do not have to wear ties at work. Nothing wrong with them. They look cool. I just wouldn't want to deal with that all the time. I like it more casual. And then Frost, you have some movies that record scenes that
Have
are
you
never
noticed what's happening to him out there?
that are never supposed to even happen. Just to kind of throw off the story from people. They might film fake deaths, fake surprises. That way, in case any
You
leaks
just called
happen,
the guest a stinking old tramp. Are we really going to let this continue?
they don't even know what they can spoil.
Oh, Patrick, why?
Yeah, in a situation like that, Frost, I think they need to be wearing
No, you
something in
shouldn't.
addition to the tie.
He's taking his shirt off on national news. Shouldn't we cut away?
I didn't have the choice. And in a situation like this, when they were filming it, like especially these scenes in the newsroom, they could absolutely probably do those all chronologically.
Okay, he's passed out. He's actually unconscious. Are we going to come back now?
Poor guy.
Apparently not.
I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Baron.
You
Well,
need
then
to
naval blockade.
Stand back.
Let's hear a little of this.
No, way back. The first few expulsions are devastating.
Is he all right?
Ah, you've started now. Right, you might take yourself a seat before it gets messy.
So what, just being in this area makes you like crap yourself?
I don't care. It's done. I am done. It's 200 fucking degrees.
Oh, I think there's a commercial being played right now. There we go.
Well, that was stupid, even for you.
I don't care. It's done. I am done. It's 200 fucking degrees in here, and I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
Here's where we find out more. Oh, and then they cut it right there. Let's see. I want some more of that back scene right before he's doing that. Oh, what movie did you see, Christian?
That's
awesome.
what I'm talking about. Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister or a report from Grentham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Yeah, so this is still the commercial.
Which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Please take your seats as quickly as you can.
Oh, the new Toy Story spin-off. That's awesome. How did you like it?
Seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5 fucking 5, 4, 3.
So we can fast forward through a lot of this because all the cameras are going to be on this one scene. There might be a commercial break, or maybe right at the very end we might see some extra. Oh, you really enjoyed it? That's great news. I haven't looked at the reviews yet, but that's good to hear. Yeah, we didn't cut through any of this. There might be some post stuff after the shot, maybe?
Play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. But if I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start by killing this man. Now, reset the system for the 3rd segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
The ratings were really good. That was nice. Oh yeah, it probably has a delayed release, Frost, but it should come hopefully sooner than later.
How long?
Jeremy, please.
How long?
17 seconds.
Look at his face.
And the studio doors are all still locked?
Yes. So what now?
I don't know. This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long?
That's not too bad for us. It probably depends on the movie and how long it's doing well in theaters. The quicker it goes off, the quicker we're going to see it on streaming.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
Okay, we can skip a lot of this. Probably just at the very end, actually. It wouldn't be realistic, but I wish there was some kind of like slider where you could see the time and how much longer a tape is.
Why aren't we asking these?
Okay, we're getting near the end. I don't know if they had any more
I've let you down.
after this.
Please, we can't show this. Cut to the ads.
My name's Jamie
Now!
Donaldson.
Do it now!
If you can. Somehow. And I envy you if you can. Have a peaceful night.
Jeremy!
Nope, they all cut away after that. Okay. I really like Jeremy. I'm so sad he's gone. Okay, it does just finish. All right, now let's see the final advertising that we had for this that we missed some. Especially because we played that other tape that wasn't regular advertising. Did we look at the membership cards? I'm not sure. I think I had it loaded, but I might have removed it at the last minute.
Our society has never been fairer. From the food that we eat, to the education, transition and community cohesion services we all enjoy.
No, I don't think we watched this.
By working as a team, we have raised living standards and are the envy of an increasingly jealous world.
Yeah, I don't think so.
With these newfound luxuries come new opportunities for those who have put the needs of the team before their own. From this month, everyone who has registered for a team membership card will automatically be entered into a lottery to win life-enhancing prizes. And why wouldn't you register? After all, the team membership card is your passport to your world-class public services, and it's absolutely free. Just be sure to have your team membership card with you at all times. It really is that simple.
That's ridiculous.
How can we help you if we don't know who you are? team membership cards. Look after the team, and the team will look after you.
It really does feel like just standard stock footage, doesn't it? I don't think we looked at this. This was that guy with the crazy deals.
Hi, it's Crazy Neil.
There he
with
is.
Our mega hot sunny summer deal. The prices are heating up, but the temperature's going down. Or it's the other way around. We don't know. We've got dingoes. We've got ringos. Give me the flamingo, guys. I know the prices are mental. If you're boiling hot and you're thinking, I need to get cool, I need to get down to Neil's because we've got the aircon on. We're serving up ice creams to all the customers, but our prices are dropping faster than a kid with a cold. It's on the floor. Yes, they're dropping every day. We've got crazy artificial paddling poles, ornamental paddling poles, big poles, little poles, any ground catching nets. Well, I don't care what you think. I'm gonna drop them even further. We got rubber rings for pets. We got rubber rings for you. We got rubber rings for them. We got rubber rings for her. Are you the managing director? No. We got everything.
Was that the Del Toro movie?
Boat starters, ladies on lilos. We got men in silos. If your favorite hobby is ice sculpting, whilst the outside is boiling, we can let you sculpt dragons. We can let you sculpt flagons. We can let you sculpt icebergs. Whatever the temperature is doing, we got a fan. You don't care? You're fired. Hey. So come on down to the Crazy Neil long hot summer deal steal.
Yeah, there was a scene there. It looked like it was from that movie, The Shape of Water, if you guys have ever seen it. I think we watched this one. RS Rainbow? Let me double check.
Hi, I'm Sophia
Yeah, this was the video game system,
CEO
wasn't it?
of Remington's Fist.
Yeah, that was the video game system. I think we tried to play this, but I didn't get to actually pay attention to the commercial. This is the hair product.
Tired of dull and lifeless hair? Fed up of dry and brittle split ends? Then say hello to Acid Gastrique. Acid Gastrique. The provitamin formula is a deep fortifying, intensive treatment.
Oh man, they turned into a monster. She's kind of looked like the Christopher Nolan Joker.
Acid Gastrique contains an organic
Like the way her lips keep going up the side of her face.
breaking down citrulline and glycogen for hair that looks and feels healthier.
And looks like some burn damage.
Acid Gastrique nourishes from root to tip for 8 times the strength of other brands. No wonder 6 out of 10 shampoos recommend it.
Acid Gastrique. The intensive formula acts fast, repairing damage and strengthening strands for hair that's truly unbreakable. Oh God, the pain. Rapid repair and protect.
Oh God, the
Deep
pain. That's
nourishing,
new.
Intensely strengthening Pro-V formula. The irresistible, healthy-looking great hair days that make you say, "Look at my hair." Look at my hair. Acid Gastrique. Because you have to.
Oh God, the pain. It absolutely did for us. It's going to keep getting worse and worse with those. We definitely did not watch the Bumlins. We did watch the propaganda. This is that really crappy place they try to advertise as like a vacation spot.
This summer, your little ones deserve a treat. Ferris wheel.
That looks pretty cool.
Carousel.
They have an entire fair park.
Roller coaster. We've got none of that, but I can tell
There
you
it
what we
is.
do have. Danger cars. Colourful germ pit.
Nice.
This swing. Stay with us in our rustic accommodation with all the facilities you'd expect. Water.
Ooh.
Grass.
Ooh.
Hey, shoot. Don't worry about that. With our fantastic live entertainment,
Aw, Pupper.
actual activities, legally edible food, and air, you're bound to find the perfect family getaway at Bumlins. Located just a few minutes' drive from local attractions like Bum Sands and The Hole. It's...
The Hole.
Well, it's majestic, isn't it? Bumlins. We'll take the whole family.
Well, what's sad though, Frost, is in California, water is actually very fancy. We don't have that here. we're getting further and further into a bad drought. It's so sad seeing all the lakes dry up. Alrighty, well, that's probably the perfect stopping point. We don't quite have enough time to knock out another whole chapter, so we will probably finish this game up, I believe, on Tuesday. I know it's not a super long game, so based on what Alex had told me last time when we streamed, we were around the halfway point. I think we'll definitely finish up in the next stream. Let's go ahead and make sure that saves. I noticed that too, that they said like the air is edible. I know it was meant to be a separate sentence, like we have air, but it sounded kind of like that, didn't it?
Our main headlines tonight.
What a crazy game.